Hey guys, welcome back to another story. Today's story is about Zeus and how he has to face a series of trials to become chief god again. But you have to listen to the full story to see what I mean by that. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, it helps a lot. And until next time, when I see you with another story, stay safe. Peace.
In the golden age of the Olympian gods, Zeus reigned supreme from his throne atop Mount Olympus. As the god of thunder and chief of the pantheon, he wielded unparalleled power. His lightning bolts could split mountains, his voice command armies, and his authority was unquestioned. However, beneath his grandeur lay a simmering pride, an arrogance born of centuries of unchallenged rule. One day, a mysterious visitor arrived on Olympus. Clad in a cloak of shifting shadows and speaking in a voice that seemed to echo from the depths of time, the stranger stood before Zeus's throne. He introduced himself as Anax, a primordial being older than the gods themselves, and spoke of a hidden truth, that Zeus's claim to the throne was not absolute. Zeus, god of thunder, Anax declared, you may rule the heavens, but you are not the ultimate god. There exists a trial, a series of challenges that will test your worthiness. Only by conquering these trials can you truly claim the title of supreme deity. Should you fail, your throne will be forfeit, and your power diminished. Zeus's pride flared at the suggestion that he was anything less than omnipotent. With a dismissive laugh, he accepted the challenge, eager to prove his supremacy. Thus began Zeus's trials, a journey that would strip away his hubris and reveal the true nature of power and leadership. The trial of humility. The first trial took Zeus to the Valley of Echoes, a desolate place where the wind carried the whispers of forgotten truths. There, he encountered a colossal mirror, its surface smooth and cold. As Zeus gazed into it, the mirror reflected not his divine form but a mortal, weak and fragile. The reflection spoke, voicing the thoughts of the countless mortals who had suffered under the whims of the gods. You are no better than us, the reflection sneered. You wield power without understanding its weight, dispensing justice as it suits you. You are not a god, you are a tyrant. Anger surged through Zeus, but as he prepared to shatter the mirror with a bolt of lightning, he hesitated. He realized that to destroy the reflection would be to deny a painful truth, that his rule had often been harsh and selfing. Swallowing his pride, Zeus knelt before the mirror, acknowledging the flaws it revealed. The mirror dissolved, leaving behind a path forward. Zeus had passed the trial of humility, but at the cost of his arrogance. The trial of compassion. The second trial led Zeus to the Garden of Sorrows, a place where the flowers bloomed with the tears of the grieving. Here, he found a young woman named Callista, sobbing uncontrollably. Her village had been destroyed by a rampaging beast, her family lost in the chaos. She cursed the gods for their indifference, her words laced with bitterness and despair. Zeus, who had often viewed mortals as mere playthings, felt an unfamiliar pang of guilt. Instead of dismissing her suffering, he listened. He learned of the hardships faced by mortals, the fragility of their lives, and the depth of their emotions. Touched by her plight, Zeus promised to protect her and her remaining people. He called forth a gentle rain, healing the land and nurturing new life. The garden flourished, the flowers now vibrant and full of life. Callista looked up at Zeus, her eyes filled with gratitude. In that moment, he understood the true nature of compassion not as a divine obligation, but as a shared experience of suffering and empathy. The trial of compassion had been overcome, and with it, Zeus's perception of his subjects transformed. The trial of sacrifice. For the final trial, Zeus was led to the abyss of oblivion, a dark chasm that seemed to stretch infinitely downward. Here, he encountered a spectral figure resembling himself, an alternate version of Zeus, cold and emotionless. This doppelganger offered him a choice: reclaim his throne and power, but at the cost of sacrificing his newfound understanding, or leap into the abyss, sacrificing his divinity to save Olympus from an impending doom. The spectre revealed that a great calamity, the Titan of Desolation, was stirring from its ancient prison. Only a true god, willing to sacrifice everything, could contain its wrath. Zeus was torn, the thought of losing his power was terrifying, yet the responsibility of his role weighed heavily on his conscience. He understood that true leadership required selflessness, a willingness to place others above oneself. With a deep breath, Zeus chose the latter. He leaped into the abyss, relinquishing his godhood and descending into darkness. As he fell, the abyss transformed into a radiant light, enveloping him in warmth. He felt his divine essence return, but purified, free of the arrogance and hubris that had once tainted him. The return of the true god. Zeus awoke at the summit of Mount Olympus, his throne gleaming with a renewed brilliance. Anax appeared once more, his shadowy form now a radiant beacon. You have faced the trials and emerged not just as a god, but as a true leader. You have learned that ultimate power lies not in control, but in humility, compassion, and sacrifice. With a respectful nod, Anax vanished, leaving Zeus alone. The other gods gathered, sensing the change in their king. Zeus's eyes, once filled with pride, now held a gentle wisdom. He addressed them, not as their superior, but as a fellow guardian of the world. Zeus's trials had reshaped him. He understood now that being the chief god was not about wielding thunderbolts and dictating fate. It was about guiding, protecting, and nurturing the realms under his care. His rule was not a birthright but a responsibility, a mantle worn with humility and grace. And thus, Zeus became the god he was always meant to be, not just the god of thunder, but the god of wisdom and compassion, revered and loved by gods and mortals alike. His legend, once one of power, became a story of redemption and enlightenment, reminding all that even the mightiest can learn and grow.